Today, we'll be talking about understanding volumes in miniature painting.
That the entirety of the cosmos is accessible through each and every individual's mind, connecting to the great mind, the great spirit.
Welcome back to the channel, collectors. So as you guys can see, we have a new setup, and today we'll be talking about understanding volumes. So what is understanding volumes? Understanding volumes is about knowing where to place highlights and shadows and how to place them so that the miniature is as appealing as possible. There are many ways to do this, but today I'm going to share with you guys my method of how I understand volumes. So if you're ready, let us begin. First and foremost, I'm going to talk about why understanding volumes is important. So to me, demonstrating a good understanding of volumes is important because it allows the viewer to understand the miniature better. By accurately portraying each shape as they are supposed to be, this allows the viewer to know and understand what the actual shape of the item or the form is. Secondly, you are able to guide the viewer's attention to the strength of the miniatures. You are able to bring out the best areas of the miniature and allow the viewer to give more of his attention to that area of the miniature, which makes the miniature all that much more appealing. Conversely, you are also able to draw the attention away from the flaws of the miniature. This can happen in a weird anatomy, weird sculpt, or sometimes just less appealing and less interesting areas where you want to bring the attention of the viewer to somewhere, say for example a little Easter egg which you place onto the diorama. These are areas that you can bring the viewer's attention to and probably just leave out the blank areas such as the gravel and the dirt somewhere else on the miniature. And for all you tabletop gamers out there, this is important because it allows the miniature to be more appealing on the tabletop, and it allows the miniature to pop and be readable and understandable even from a tabletop distance. If you want to understand the readability concept, you can check out the video right here. So that much is about understanding volumes. So right now I'm going to share with you guys my approach of how I demonstrate my understanding of volumes onto my miniatures. The first component of understanding volumes, in my opinion, is understanding values. So to put it very simply, not all values are the same. Values which are closer to the light tend to be higher in value, whereas areas which are further away from the light tend to be of darker value. That is to say, the area, say for example, a normal man standing in the sunlight, you would expect that the shadow under his kneecaps would be darker than the shadow under his chin. So as you guys can see in the Rockbreaker Ogre picture right here, where it's completed, you can see that the area which is in the crevices of his chest muscles are definitely not as dark as the area under his hammer and his belly. To address and eliminate this problem, I have this technique called base layers. So as you guys have seen in my tutorials, what I've done is that I've organized each color and each area which I'm painting to base layers, midtones, and highlights. So in the base layer stage, what I do is that I do not consider the details, I just place the paint in the form of the miniature. The next component about understanding volumes is understanding the form of the miniature. Understanding the form of the miniature is utmost important because just like a sculptor, you would want to chip off the large areas and get the rough shape before going into the details. Say for example, if you are carving a face, you wouldn't be carving how big the nose is and how sharp the eyes are before carving out the entire form of the head. And the same goes for miniature painting. What you would do is to carve out the shape and forms first before going into the detail like the individual chain links and how they are highlighted. So as you guys can see in the Rockbreaker Ogre, which I've done this volume sketch, what I've done is in the first base layers, I very roughly place out the shapes where I perceive the entire Rockbreaker Ogre as a sphere first. So this is done on the top right hand corner, and then gradually what I've done is that I will break up the rock breaker ogre into its body parts. So say for example, the head, the arms, and the belly. And then eventually, I go into the individual muscles. So say for example, the deltoid, the pectoral muscles, and the foreheads and belly, etc. So after understanding the form, we move on to value distribution. Value distribution is highly dependent on the material that you are trying to portray. So I have two rough formulas which I would want to share with you guys. For satin and matte finishes, I tend to do 3 shadow, 6 mid-tone, and 1 highlight. The highlight tends to be very weak so that the entire appearance of the surface does not appear too shiny. For glossy and metallic finishes, I would probably do a 3 highlight, 4 mid-tone, and a distribution of about 3 to 4 of shadows, as you guys can see. And the highlight value for this will be a lot stronger. So the last component about understanding volume is about readability. I understand that at the start what we've done is we fundamentally just smash paint into the correct shapes and eventually go down into the details. Inevitably, there will be times where you would make mistakes and the components of the miniature and the details might have been lost. So this is where we fight back and we get back the individual details. How I combat this stage is that I mix a darker shadow and with a very fine tip brush, I go along the lines of individual components to allow these individual components to stand out once again and be separated from the main bulk of the miniature. This increases the readability of the miniatures, which allows the miniature and the individual details sculpted to be understandable by the viewers. If you want to improve the readability of your miniatures, you can check out the video right here and the links will be in the description. So those were my top tips about how you can understand the volumes and make your miniatures a lot more appealing. So I'd like you guys to remember the 4 tips: value understanding, understanding the form, understanding value distribution, and readability. So I hope you guys found this video useful. If you did, I would really appreciate it if you share it with your friends and all around social media, because it really helps us grow our channel. And you guys know the drill. Like, subscribe and all that stuff, because it really helps us. And if you can afford it, I hope you guys head on to our Patreon and become a patron today. At the $2 tier, you guys get extended play footage and many videos which I have made exclusive for my Patreons, so that we can become better miniature painters together. I'd like to thank my Patreons for allowing me to do this, and I hope to catch you in the next video. See you guys.